Hi folks, it's Kieran here. Today I'm at a mini ramp. So it is the first time I've skated a mini ramp in probably at least a year, longer probably. So yeah, I figured today, I hadn't skated for about a week, I wanted to come out and just do something a little bit different. I headed to Maudsley mini ramp, which if you've been following the channel for a while, is the one that I used to skate loads last summer. I learned a bunch of tricks and I had loads of fun there. Unfortunately that ramp now has a big hole in the middle, so I won't be able to use that one again. So I shot on over to this one here, which is at Broughton, another little village outside Kettering. It's a cool ramp, it's a little bigger than the one at Maudsley for sure. It's probably more of a normal size mini ramp, let's be honest, but yeah, it's taken me a little bit more getting used to. So the plan today is just take it nice and easy, just roll, feel things out, maybe try and relearn some tricks. I just relearned tail stalls. Like, I don't necessarily relearn them, I haven't done one forever, since I last skated mini ramp basically, and yeah, they always used to freak me out as a kid. Tail stalls are a really weird trick. I always found a weird trick for me to commit to. Couldn't do them as a kid, learnt to do them as an adult, and if I don't do them for a while I have to go through a bit of a battle with them. But yeah, sorted that, got that now. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the session. I'm just going to kick tricks around, roll about on the mini ramp, sort of get my legs under me, and depending on how leery I'm feeling I might try some other tricks. So I probably should try axle stalls. I don't think I've ever done an axle stall on a ramp this big, so that would be a really cool achievement if I can do that, but I don't know if I'm feeling that brave. See how it goes. Stationary kickflip. That's a very rare thing. You're very lucky to see that. I never do trick stationary. Oh. Not really sure what happened there. I just bailed a tail stall like halfway down the ramp, just felt my back truck go, and then yeah, it all shot out. Gave my knee a weird little, you know, one of them worrying twists where it's fine, but you know that if it had gone a little further it definitely wouldn't have been okay. Like you can tell, you hear your joint go no no no. What I'm trying to do is try to rock and roll the wall that I've been rock and rolling, then go back, rock fakey tail saw, and then rock and roll the other wall. It's about, I'm trying to like rebuild my speed off of one rock and roll to get up to the point where I can do a second one. Thought it'd be easy, but I'm really struggling with it. It just shows how much speed I lose out of my rock and rolls. Like I really do slow down a lot once I do them, but you know, I'm doing them fine, doing them pretty consistently. So I don't know whether to move on or not. I think I will. So the thing is, if I move on I have to pick a new trick, and the ones I've got in mind from now on all enter what I consider the really scary category. So there are two that I'm considering. One is axle stall, a trick that historically, like before, like I really struggled to learn it. I could never do it as a kid. Again, I learned it as an adult, but it took me loads and loads of sessions on a very small ramp. I've got to the point now where I'm very consistent with them on small ramps. I can get in and out of them on those little quarter, like 2-foot quarter pipes that you get at the, you know, Desborough or Adrenaline Alley. But whenever I try and do them on something bigger, it just becomes a whole new mind game. I have done them on Adrenaline Alley's mini ramp. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 foot. I can't. Never broke a tape measure out, and I can never work these things out. But I think it's probably about the same sort of size as this. But it's been a long time since I've done that. So that's one option. The other option is the switch crook stall that I do, which is basically like you come up and it's like a tweaked tail. You tweak tail stall and back to regular sort of thing. That's one that I've always been very, very comfortable with, very confident with. So I feel like I could probably get that faster. That would just be like a bit of a commitment issue, and probably the first time I feel it, I'll be alright with it. I should do the axle stall really. Let's kick both of them about. Let's do like alternate drop-ins between trying to do the axle stall, which will be straight from the drop. I'll try and do it on that wall over there, or I'll try and do the crook thing, which will also be on that wall over there, because I like to do a kick turn, do a rock fakie, and then I'll come to it. So yeah, we'll just alternate between the two until I find one that I feel good about. I think as a main goal for today's session, I'd like to get one of these, and then depending on how quickly one of them comes, maybe we'll do the other. But if I've done that, I feel like I've achieved something today. There is a massive dragonfly. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Just look at him. Oh, he's flown off. Scared him off. He was huge. Right, enough chit chat. All on this wall. Axle stall or switch crook stall. Terrified. Right, I kind of got a couple, but I'm not very happy with them. Like, there's a difference in terms of axle stalls where you feel like you're in the ramp or you feel like you're out of the ramp. And the ones that, I mean, I certainly consider the right ones, the ones I want to do, is where you feel like you're stood out on top of the ramp. But for me, those are the ones that freak me out. I always sort of end up sort of semi-committing. I still feel like I'm in the ramp. Those two that I just did feel like a prime example where my axle is on the coping, but it's on and I'm sort of still leaning into the ramp a little bit. It's very safe. It's effectively a bit like a backside, like a long backside kick turn with your front truck down. But to get into my head, so like, I know how to do it. I know I just need to like really push out of the ramp, and the important thing is to make sure that I lean back ever so slightly when I get up on top. And then it's completely safe if you do it like that. But I've got this really bad habit when I try and do these, especially on the bigger ramp, of still leaning forward. And you saw there was one I bailed where the board shot out across the back of the deck and I came down into the ramp, tweaked my back a little, it sucked. If I don't commit to getting my head out, that's what's going to happen to me every single time. And I took a really sucky bail like that at I think it was Earthlinborough Skate Park, where I came down like my stomach on the coping. It was rough and I hated it, and that plays in my head a little bit, I think, when I try and commit to these ones. And it really frustrates me, because on a small ramp I can do it no trouble, it's easy. As soon as I get to a slightly bigger ramp, I fall back into these old habits of just not committing to getting really on top of it. And I know the process, I know what I need to do. I know I need to like stay nice and low in my stance, and then just sort of like shoot and sort of aim out of the ramp. And that important thing is just making sure that my head isn't leaning forward over into the ramp, and that my you know, it's not even a lean back, it's just about trying to keep everything in line. It feels to me like a lean back because the safe thing is to lean forward. So yeah, it's just a mind fuck. It really frustrates me because the axle saw is such a basic mini ramp trick. Like, if I can't get, there are other tricks that I can do, like feebles and smiths, which I've only ever been able to do on small quarter pipes because I can do an axle stall properly on a small quarter pipe. I will never be able to do those tricks on this bigger quarter pipe until I can do an axle stall properly on a bigger quarter pipe. And yet, whenever I get to a bigger quarter pipe, it makes a mess of me again, and I'm getting wound up and frustrated by it. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I've got plenty of time. This is really one of this session's now going to turn into one of these mental things where I want to quit, but I know I need to keep going and break through the fear barrier, and effectively the session will end either when I break through the fear barrier and I'm able to do it, because I know once I've done it, and I've done it once, it will probably click for me and I'll be able to just go, or that fear side of my mind will win and I'll give up, which is like the story of my skateboarding progression for the last year. And this is what I'm trying to push through at the moment. I've talked about in the last couple of videos how I'm trying to push through that barrier. But as soon as it comes to going fast and bigger obstacles, it just, my mind just jumps in the way again. It's like, whoa, don't do anything like that, when I'm more than capable. And then I spend time doing this, sitting talking to you, because if I'm talking to this camera and talking to you guys, I don't have to be trying the trick. I hate myself, I really do. So that is exactly the slam we're talking about. I don't know how many more of these I can luck out of, like before I like really hurt myself. I'm sure what happened again, my board has come out probably a bit too much, because I think I'm pushing to the point where my wheels are not getting to lock here, because I'm really emphasising that push out, but because I'm leaning into the ramp, I'm not out of the ramp. I end up doing that and it sucks. Like, I cannot tell you how fucking frustrating it is when you know that, you know, I know what to do, I know the mechanics of the trick, and at the moment, effectively, you know, I'm just looking for that Goldilocks thing where if I land it, I'm leaning too far in, and my board, you saw, I think I got one just before, but it's like one truck is kind of like this, with me sort of leaning in, and it's okay. I mean, it's kind of an axle stall, but what I want is to be up on top, either like this or like this or something. And yet, obviously there, I tried to do that, I'm leaning way too far in because of how I turn. It's not fair. It's like, I'm so annoyed with myself in terms of like, I know how to do this, I should just be able to knock this out. And yet here I am. Like, that one wasn't too bad, I basically just slid down the ramp face first, but, you know, one of those could be really sucky. I suck. Okay, the frustration and the fear, very real. Calm down a little bit. This flat bar over here, by the way, if that ground was smooth and there wasn't a divot at the bottom of that run-up ramp, perfect, would be perfect for learning new tricks on. Unfortunately the ground is rough than a bear's arse, and the crack in the bottom is just as big, so yeah, that's a shame. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and land some more axle stall 50-50 grind, whatever the fucking hell I'm doing on this thing, the way I've been doing it, with that sort of semi not in sort of thing. If I can get like 2 more, I can, 1 more, screw it, just 1 more, I can leave the session at least saying, right, okay, I'll do that, and then I can find somewhere where I can work on them properly, build up that confidence again step by step, which is what we need. It's not ideal, should be able to do it. There's no point getting wound up and frustrated and increasing the fear and stuff like that. So let's just do that, and then I'm going to go home. I feel like at least I can say I've done something then. That's the plan. Distribute my weight all wrong. Like, I've reverted back to like how I used to do them as a kid, where I would just stay well within the ramp. You can kind of, it's a really cheaty way, so I've just like, you pivot your back truck on, you put all 4 wheels are basically wrong. That's not what I was doing with those ones I landed earlier, so I guess that, and that's what I'm checking. Oh, fuck, I can't even explain myself apart from I nearly went over on my face again. I wanted to put my foot through the board. Just keep going, just try and salvage something that's done. Okay, I'm going to stop there after that one, because that one was definitely a win, and I don't want to get, you know, I'm still feeling incredibly frustrated and wound up, and I don't want to push myself for another one and do something silly. And at the moment, silly would be, you know, putting my foot through my board because I'm angry, like a kid does, and I don't need to be doing that. That one felt way better. It felt like how I used to do them on the small ramp. Not perfect. I wasn't perfectly sat on top of the ramp, as in I still felt like I was leaned in a little bit, but I could feel that my trucks were up on top of it better. And as a result, I'm going to take it, because I know that that is a step in the right direction to getting what I want to do, which is getting to a point where I can really sit up on top of them. At the moment, one of the big things I'm trying to do with my skateboarding is take tricks that I can already do to new obstacles. Like most of us, when I learn a new trick, I try and learn it on the smallest obstacle, safest obstacle I can learn it on, because, you know, why wouldn't you? That helps you learn tricks. After that though, you do have to start building it up and taking it to bigger obstacles, or try to do it faster, or, you know, if it's a slider grind, try to do it longer. And my expectation of myself is, well, you know how to do it, you should just be able to go away and do it straight away. And that's, you know, the reality is that isn't true. There is still more learning to be done. Just because you can do a trick, like I can do an axle stall on a ramp this big, doesn't mean that when I come to a ramp that's, you know, only a bit bigger, well, this isn't Tony Hawk's ramp, you know, there's not going to be an adjustment period where I need to go through some of the process to relearn it again, because, you know, the fear kicks in. It's a little bigger, you've got to go a little faster. You know, you have to reset and work through it again. It's something that I really struggle with. I have, like I said, a very high expectation of myself that I should just be able to jump straight into doing these things. It's just not the case. It's never been in my whole life, and I have no idea why I continue to perceive in it, but I do. So yeah, it's been a good session overall. If I take the frustration from the axle stall out of the way, I managed to get tail stalls back very quickly. I felt comfy doing them on this ramp. My rock fakies felt amazing. It's awesome to skate a mini ramp where I can properly rock them and tweak them a little bit like I used to. And I got the rock and rolls. The other thing, if I think about it just subjectively, I'm happy with that last axle stall I did. I'm going to go home and watch the footage. I may feel very differently once I've watched the footage. Hopefully I'll feel more positive that I did achieve something. If I didn't, whatever, we just have to come back to it. I think what I need to accept with the axle stalls is, as good as I have got them on smaller ramps, they need more practice on bigger ramps, and I'm just going to have to find bigger ramps and keep working on them and dedicate time and sessions to doing them. Like I said, that kind of feels frustrating because in your head you should be able to do it quickly, but it's what needs to be done. I probably will do it quickly if I can get myself in the right headspace of that I am learning to do this trick on a bigger ramp, not just assuming that I should be able to do it. Skateboarding is really hard. It challenges you mentally and physically, but most of the challenge is in the mental aspect. Once you understand the physical properties of how to do a trick, from there on in, transferring it to different obstacles and stuff like that is just a mental battle. I physically know how to do an axle stall, but in order to do them on something that's bigger or weird or slightly different to the things I've learnt them on, it requires a mental battle again, because fear comes back in, that doubt, the frustration kicks in as soon as you can't do it. It's something that we all go through as skateboarders. It's very hard to accept, but yeah, it just is what it is. This is really where I am with my skateboarding in a big way at the moment. When I talk about stagnation with progression, how I feel like I've had that for the last few months, it's because of this. It's because I've not been able to just do something on a new obstacle when I feel like I should, but I need to accept that is it's a learning process. I need to get back on it. That's enough waffle. I talk way too long in these videos and I apologise for it. I am trying to do better. I'm trying to find a way to film better videos. I'm trying to talk less, but this is just, unfortunately for you guys, because there's no one else here, you get to hear what's going on inside here, and it just, I apologise for that. But yeah, let's call it there. I'm gonna I've got a session tomorrow with Matt, which will be absolutely awesome at Desborough Skate Park. I'm going to try and find a way to push myself out of the comfort zone again with that one. But yeah, looking forward to skating with Matt. It's been a while since we've done that. So it's been, yeah, ultimately it was good fun coming down to the mini ramp. I just need to do it more. I need to do it more. I need to accept that I'm still learning and getting used to it. And yeah, the progress will come. So cool. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for bearing with me. And I'll see you on the next video.